Northern Coalition rejects PIB and says it is a plan to subjugate North. The coalition of northern groups has rejected the recently passed petroleum industry bill, saying its implementation is a grand plan to further subjugate the North economically. The CNG, in a statement after a press conference in Abuja on Tuesday, said the provisions of the bill has intended consequences in the northern regions of the country. The coalition noted that the bill is merely an extension of the elite monopoly of the total available economic activity in the country at the expense of ordinary Nigerian citizens, with dire consequences on the northern region in particular. The statement, cited by Ripples Nigeria and signed by CNG spokesman Abdulaziz Suleiman, insisted that a cursory look at the PIB suggests a total departure from the current trend where the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation will be commercialized, and the three major agencies, Department of Petroleum Resources, Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency, and Petroleum Equalization Fund, will be merged to form an authority that will regulate the oil business, with the implication of total deregulation total deregulation of the market. The current structure of the oil market suggests that PMS is sold at government-approved price across the country, where the consumer in Sokoto, Borno, Oka, or Lagos can buy the same pump price of 165 naira. This is achieved through the Petroleum Equalization Fund Management Board, whose responsibility is the reimbursement of petroleum marketing companies for expenses incurred in the transportation of petroleum products, especially PMS from Lagos, Port Harcourt, Warri, Calabar, and other areas to their outlets across the country. Going by the aforementioned, CNG demand the immediate halt of the process for the PIB in its present construction, as it would invariably impact negatively on the livelihood of the northern communities, especially those of the far northeast and northwest, who would be forced to buy fuel at a disabling inflated price. It is also suspected that eventually the four Nigerian refineries will be sold to individuals, just as Benue Cement and other publicly owned cement industries. The fact that they said that the said private refinery was initially to be launched in 2017 but shifted to 2018, 2019, and now September 2021 has heightened the suspicion of financial underhanded deals by some members of the National Assembly and the private refinery owners to influence the passage of the bill. Oh wow. Okay, this whole thing, plan to subjugate North, of course we know it's a what do you call it? It's void. It's null. It has no it has no weight. It doesn't yeah. Simple terms, it has no weight. Such accusation cannot prove it. Absolutely not. That is absolutely the responsibility of the leaders of the northern region to sort out. And it's the same way even in the south as well. In comparison, yes, the south in terms of economic, obviously that's where the oil actually comes from, majority of it. So of course, the access and the exposure obviously is higher, so they're in a much better position than the north. But really and truly, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like I said the south is better. So in anything, we should just make it simpler for ourselves to understand, and so we can know where we can know what direction to actually make proper decisions from. Fact is, all the leaders are corrupt, all of them have ulterior motives, all of them are incompetent, all of them are bad. Therefore, we change all of them. That is it. It's as simple as that. Because trying to now subjugate it to the north, for every tribe in the country, for any even minority tribe, major tribe, like your representative is in government and is working against you anyway. So, and even if your representative is not there, the other people of other tribes are not even representing, or looking at the interests of their own people now, let alone you. So, how would that be? Somebody here says PIB will reduce the entitlement mentality of the North. The North is a retrogressive burden on Nigeria. Absolutely 100%. And let's not even look at economically and leave that, because I think that, okay, in those ways, innovatively, things could actually work and there's potential. But I think where there's a real retrogressive burden on Nigeria is when it comes to the mentality. We do not think as one. The exposure there is absolutely low. Education levels is lower. Not saying that the south is better, but it is better to a very large extent. Some things that the northerners fall for, in terms of control from religion and stuff. Not that the south doesn't have it, but the south isn't as easily vulnerable to fall for these kind of things because the exposure in the south is much higher. There's a potential that, okay, fine, there's a better life than where I am in the south. You in the south, you always know that, okay, fine, the competition is there. You could be better. You know that where you are is not the final destination because you know your country still has something to provide for you. But the mentality is absolutely different, and I think that mentality shows itself when it comes to support to protest, support to have a different mentality, different point of view on controversial situations. In fact, just when it comes to just speaking up in general, that is where the real retrogressive burden is in Nigeria. Why? Because that is why that culture enables this toxic governance to continue, where we do not hold them accountable. And of course, let's not lie. Yes, we are one, but we are one that accommodate and tolerate each other. Not that it's not a good thing, but as a culture, as a tribe, you will never ever, in my opinion, I don't think it's possible for you to reach your potential as a unit, as one, where everything you do is totally based in what you want to do as your culture and is rooted in that. We always have to accommodate for this tribe, for that tribe. And that is why, even up till now, instead of us as Nigerians to talk about, how good, a president is, or how competent they are in terms of their experience, expertise, how versatile they are as a president, we now start thinking of rotational presidency. Not rotational presidency based on equality for the living standards and distribution of incomes in the country, but no, it is equality that each tribe will have a time and have their own portion of the cake. So they would have their own time where they would be the ones to go and embezzle funds. So to make it fair in that regard. So again, it's like we focus on this tribe has not been in presidency, that tribe has not been in presidency. When really and truly, that's not what we should be focusing on, because that would not be the benchmark. That should not be the standard in which we decide, oh, this person is fit enough to be president just because the tribe has not been represented. So again, this real but progressive burden in Nigeria is in a lot in the north, but then also transgresses into the south as well. And again, this is why when it comes to the petroleum industry bill, there really would never be progress. Why? Because the state owns the resource technically. Well, that is the argument that they will go with. Again, I don't know the Nigerian constitution, so it may be different. But I think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.